Hello everyone, you're on the F4U channel and this is a new rubric which called Battle Map. Here we'll be looking at everything that is happening on the battlefield every week using the Deep State map, an interactive online map of the fighting in Ukraine that allows you to follow the changes in the front line and the course of hostilities. But the first issue will be unusual because we'll talk about what is happening in Russia. The fighting has practically moved there. The Russians thought that if they started the war, if they were bombing our Ukrainian cities, killing our people, it would not affect them. No, they were wrong. When at the beginning of the invasion, we all asked them not to be inactive and at least try to stop Putin's regime, they, on the contrary, called on Putin to kill us. But the law of the boomerang works, and the Russians have experienced it, but only a small part of what we are experiencing, because we're not talking about people death, we're talking about fear, and this is just the beginning. So let's start. On 22nd of May, the Russian Volunteer Corps and the Freedom of Russian Legion stated that they had crossed the border and they crossed it on armored vehicles and were liberating settlements in the Belgorod region from the current Russian government. They started with the villages of Kozinka. We will see where it is, Kozinka and Gora-Podol here. But they are seeking to liberate the whole of Russia. The Russian Volunteer Corps also asked the inhabitants of the border areas not to resist and not to be afraid as they don't touch civilians, and this is fact. According to Andriy Yusov, a representative of Ukraine's military intelligence, formation of Russian citizens began liberating the Belgorod region from the Putin regime in order to push back the enemy and protect Ukrainian civilians in the border areas, because we understand that Kharkiv and Kharkiv region near. Russia claimed that a Ukrainian sabotage and reconnaissance had entered the region, but Mikhailo Podolyak, an advisor to the head of the Ukrainian president's office, said Ukraine is following the events in Russia's Belgorod region with interest and studying the situation, but has nothing to do with them. As you know, tanks are sold at every Russian military sale, and underground guerrilla groups are made up of Russian citizens. In fact, we Ukrainians don't occupy other people's territory, unlike the aggressor country. The Russian publics wrote about fighting near the settlements of Glotove. We will see Glotova here, Kozinka and Gora-Podol, as we said. Armored vehicles were also sent to help the Russian border guards to repel those who want to overthrow the Putin regime. Various sources also reported flights of military aircraft, in particular helicopters, firing heat traps over the village of Rakitne. And we will see where is Rakitne here. But helicopters crash in Russia from time to time. On 22nd of May, for example, a Russian helicopter successfully crashed near the village of Prokhorovka, 100 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. We see now this helicopter. Evacuations were carried out from the Graivoron district. Graivoron district is here, Graivoron, near Gora-Podol, Glotova and Kozinka. In the town itself, the sounds of gunfire could be heard, and locals panicked and tried to leave on their own. Let's see what kind of queues formed at the exit of Graivoron. There is no panic. Those who didn't leave tried to hide in basements, but not everyone succeeded. Why not? Because people in Russia thought they were living as in Christ's bosom, but no one in Belgorod had prepared shelters for possible incidents. As a result, people panicked, complained, cursed the authorities, and tried to force their way into the locked bomb shelter. In the Graivoron district, mobile phones the internet and electricity were disruptions. The base of the 12th main Directorate of the Russian Defense Ministry is located near the Graivoron checkpoint, where fighting between Russian volunteers and Putin's forces took place on 22nd of May. Military unit 25624 is a nuclear weapons storage facility. Of course, the Russian urgently evacuated the nuclear ammunition depots in the Belgorod region, said Yusov, a representative for the Ukrainian Defense Intelligence Service. On the evening of 22nd of May, an anti-terrorist operation was declared in the region. On the night of 23rd of May, Russian media also reported an arrival on the FSB office in Belgorod, where explosives were allegedly dropped on the building. Smoke can be seen on the roof of one of the buildings. The road to the building is blocked. As we can see, a civil war is probably starting in Russia, and we're just witnessing the beginning of the overthrow of the Putin regime. What do you think about what is happening in Russia? Write your opinion below the video, and please support Ukraine defeat the killer country of Russia. Details of how to donate to our army are also below the video. And also please subscribe and share this video. The next episode will be about the situation in Bakhmut and whether the Ukrainians are ready for a counteroffensive. See you soon, and glory to Ukraine.